Hello fellow cyborgs and welcome to another video. I had originally planned on filming a winter reads video because themed videos, they're awesome. However, I don't have as many choices as I would have liked by this time of year, and I'm not feeling motivated to make that video. So instead, I thought maybe you'd be interested in seeing some of the books that have gone on my Christmas wish list. Sorry to be exclusive to a lot of people who celebrate other holidays at the winter solstice time of year. I happen to have grown up celebrating Christmas and I still continue to do so, hence Christmas wish list. But these are just books that I'm super interested in at the moment and would like not to have to pay for. So it's pretty much an all occasion, please family and friends buy me books, but this is the time of year to do so list. So on top of the list is a book called Indistinguishable from Magic by Catherine M. Valente. I recently heard about this book by a subscriber, I believe it was Lola Raven, hello, and this is a collection of writings and essays by Catherine M. Valente on various subjects. I haven't looked too deeply into it because if it appears in my stocking under the tree or otherwise, I would like to be a little bit surprised, but I know my subscriber said that there were a few essays on writing, creativity, blah, 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 blah. Catherine M. Valente normally hits it right out of the park for me, so yeah, this is obviously on the top of the list. Next are two books by Kaj Johnson. I learned of these through Mercedes at Mercy's Bookish Musings, and the first is Fudoki, which is apparently a story about a woman who started her life as a cat and then became an empress. I haven't read it yet, I'm not 100% sure. Mercedes seems to really enjoy it. I love books with cats as central characters or themes or reoccurring images. One day I will be showing you my cat book collection as it is little but existent. Fudoki, I thought that would be a wonderful addition to my cat collection and hopefully a wonderful read as well. To probably no one's surprise, the second Kaj Johnson book I have on my list is At the Mouth of the River of Bees, which is a short story collection. It is the short story collection that got Mercedes into loving short story collections. I believe it is also one of Kelly's favorites from the channel What Kelly Reads, and it sounds awesome. Magical realism, some of the best stories ever. Yes, 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 please, 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 now, now, now. Next, also from the recommendation from Mercedes is Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, and look at this beautiful edition. All the other editions of Rebecca that I've seen, not that covers should matter, but they do, are just uninteresting. This one very interesting. Anyway, so Rebecca is a classic book by Daphne du Maurier, a female writer, bonus points, and apparently it's kind of gothic but also sweet. It's a romping good time. It'll make you feel feelings that'll make you feel nice. I'm on board. Next is another Catherine M. Valente. This is The Melancholy of Mecha Girl. Now, I do have some apprehensions about this because Mercedes didn't like it. She gave it 2 stars, I believe, because the writing was beautiful, but it was so abstract that you had no idea what was going on. And at first, I was like, I'll love it because I'm apparently a bigger Catherine M. Valente fan than Mercedes. It's not a contest, and it's probably not true. Since putting this on my list, though it still remains there, I have read Yume no Hon, the Book of Dreams by Catherine M. Valente, and I gave that 2 out of 5 stars because the same thing that's going on in Mecha Girl is going on in the Book of Dreams. However, The Melancholy of Mecha Girl, it takes place, or it has Japanese themes, and I'm getting into Japanese literature, if not culture, if not thematic things in literature. I thought I probably won't buy it for myself, but I would like to try it out for myself, so a wish list is probably a great place for it to be. Another Asian-themed read, A Tale for the Time Being by Ruth Ozeki. I have heard so many great things from this, or about this, from Jen Campbell, Mercedes, tons of other people. I so far have not met a booktuber virtually who has disliked A Tale for the Time Being. I've also heard this described as a great jumping in point to Japanese literature. The premise of A Tale for the Time Being, you guys already know. Ruth is a writer in Canada. I'm pretty sure she's on Newfoundland. I could be wrong. She's on one of the islands or something. This lunchbox washes up on shore. She finds it. Within it is a diary of a girl from Japan, and it was washed to the shores of Canada after the tsunami. This is one of the books where I'm pretty sure I'm going to adore it. Therefore, I'm not in a hurry to get to it. It's messed up, but it's one of the things that my lovely brain does all the time. So yeah, A Tale for the Time Being. Next, also Asian themed, is the first Kazuo Ishiguro book that I would like to try, which is The Remains of the Day. It is apparently his pièce de résistance, his best loved work by a lot of people. He is very famous for Never Let Me Go, as you may know. I watched the movie already. Tore my heart to bits. So I'm a bit hesitant to pick up that book because I'm afraid it won't be as powerful. I don't know, controversial. That's where I live. But anyway, The Remains of the Day, it takes place at the end of the golden age of British manor houses with tons of servants, think Downton Abbey, and it is from the point of view of a butler. It was also made into a movie. Haven't seen that. Anyway, I would like to try a Kazuo Ishiguro book, and I thought this would be a great place to start, and I probably wouldn't buy it for myself because, mostly because I couldn't decide on the edition that I liked because there didn't seem to be very many good editions of it, which is really annoying, but also because I think I'll like it, and therefore I'm in no hurry to get to it. It's messed up. All right. Next on the list is a more morbid pick, 40 Tales from the Afterlife by David Eagleman. Yes, I think I nailed it. Afterlives. Well, I got close enough. So this is a collection of short stories that posit different possibilities of what the afterlife may be like. I personally am not convinced in this heaven-hell thing, but I do love thinking about death and everything that surrounds it. As you know, I'm a death geek at heart, and I thought this would be a lovely thing to add to my deathy literature collection. So yeah, sometime I'll read it. Next is My Real Children by Jo Walton. Jo Walton wrote Among Others, which is a 5-star book from me and has caused me to buy a lot of classic sci-fi books that I have yet to read because, decisions. I've also read this cool book called What Makes This Book So Great, which is a collection of her blog posts on Tor.com about the books she was rereading. It's like Among Others, but extended. If you haven't picked it up yet, I suggest you do. It's nice. It's lovely. You can pick and choose what you want to read and what not. Getting back on track. My Real Children is one of her more recent novels, and it recently won the James Tiptree Jr. Memorial Award, which is a literary award that rewards books that play around with gender, sexuality, stuff like that, because James Tiptree Jr. was the nom de plume of Alice Sheldon, I believe her name is. She no longer exists physically in this world. Anyway, so it's a literary award that I look at time and again because I really like books that play around with gender and gender roles and everything like that. So it was a recent winner. And it didn't look as scary as the other winner, which had to deal with sexual abuse and stuff like that. So, My Real Children by Jo Walton. I would like to read it. Would someone like to buy it for me? That would be nice. Next in my selection on my huge Amazon wish list is Maple Croft by Sherry Priest. I have read Bone Shaker by Sherry Priest, which is a steampunk novel set in the Wild Wild West, Seattle. Sherry Priest is really well known for also writing Southern literature, as she lives in the South, grew up in the South, so some of her novels have the swing to it. Maple Croft is an epistolary novel, which means that it is told in a series of letters, blah, 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 other documents, not in a long narrative sort of form, which I love as a rule. And also, it's a story of Lizzie Borden meets Cthulhu. Yeah, you either were incredibly interested or incredibly disinterested with those two little phrases, so I'm not going to say which one of you is correct, but, there's a thing. Lizzie Borden is a famous American murderer. She supposedly killed her parents with an axe. So she's very infamous. And this is a retake on that mythology, I guess. She's almost a folk legend now, a really creepy murdering folk legend. But anyway, Maple Croft, I'm interested. I'm interested enough for someone else to buy it for me. Next is The Luminaries by Eleanor Catton. This is a book on the list of New Zealand books that I want to read before I go to New Zealand. That trip has been postponed to January or February of 2017 instead of 2016, as I thought quite a few months ago when I did my unexpected book haul of J.R.R. Tolkien's works, because it's a Middle-earth themed trip to New Zealand. Okay, lots of backstory, it's done. Anyway, The Luminaries, Eleanor Catton is a New Zealand author. The Luminaries is wonderful. It was shortlisted, or did it win? It was Man Booker Prized at some point years ago. It's a historical novel with like a mystery. It's freaking huge. I would get to it eventually, but am I going to buy it immediately for myself? Probably not, because I've got little T-Rex arms and I have a hard time holding big books. I'm interested in reading it because it sounds freaking fantastic, and also it's Kiwi. So dun, 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 dun. Last on the list is a collection of short stories that are Christmas themed, Round the Christmas Fire Festive Stories. And the authors that contributed to this collection include Truman Capote, I think P.G. Wodehouse, and I can remember no other names, but think that era of writers. And I am, as you know, with the Winter Reads video that I was theoretically going to film, I am looking for books to read in the lead up to Christmas to get me feeling spirity, because I'm no longer a toy-grubbing child who just is overcome with the excitement, but I would like to get some of that back, and I think I might be able to retain that in the literature that I read each December. But I don't have very good picks yet. I don't have a plethora of picks, let's say. So this, hopefully, would be a nice one to read. Unfortunately, my library doesn't have a copy of it, so I can't try it out before buying it. However, maybe I won't have to buy it. Maybe someone else who knows me will buy it for me. I will leave it in the links down below if you want to check out some of more of the authors in there. I only recognized a few, and I might be lying about P.G. Wodehouse. It still looks good. Well, thank you for staying through that long video about me talking about books that I don't yet own and know nothing about in some cases. I hope I didn't bore the death out of you, and I also hope I didn't really 100% sound like a consumer whore. Thank you for watching. Please leave me in the comments down below the names of some of the books that are habiting your Saturnalia winter solstice holiday wish list. I hope that you have a lovely week and that it is cooling down in your part of the world, including Australia and the Southern Hemisphere, where you're probably just hating life because of how hot it is. I hope that you get a nice little cool front for a week or so. Until next time, continue to be lovely. You just sticking up there? You just want to hang out with the birds?